Hey everyone, my name is Caleb Nathan Wood and I'm going to be doing a bearded dragon care video. And I would also like to introduce you to my little bearded dragon. He is a very cool bearded dragon and he's really cute too. He'll squeeze himself in really tight spaces when he sleeps. He's about 8 inches long. We're not sure if he's a male or female. He's probably about 6 months old or something. And he was the only one with that stripe down his back. His name is August. And he can also hang on your shirt. I'm still training him how to get used to me. Okay, now this is a type of cage you're going to want to use for the juveniles. It's a 29 gallon, and make sure you change your cages quick because your bearded dragon won't grow if your cage environment isn't that big. And when they're adults, like 2 feet, that's the medium size, is you're going to want to use about a 75 gallon. So keep that in mind. And then another thing is their bedding. Now you probably think this bedding right here is real sand, but it's actually not. It's walnut shells. The thing about real sand is that they're bearded dragons. If they're babies, they are really wild eaters and they will eat their own sand. And sand can't be digested, and if it can't be digested, they, what happen? They'll perish. But this stuff is a lot gentler on the stomach. It'll just come right out. It can come out of their poop, be digested. Or you could also use just a reptile carpet. Those are, for a reptile carpet that will fit in this size tank would probably be at least $15 to $20. It's not the cheapest. And these cages are going to probably be $100 at the pet store. But we got this one thrifted at Goodwill. You can get it about $7 there. They're very cheap, but they're not the cheapest at the pet store. So I go to Goodwill. You usually won't find terrariums out there. And these lizards are usually living in like a desert environment. So make sure you use like rocks and a little bit leaves and sticks and stuff. And I have this cool plant that I'll put in there. It's not real. And I have this really cool boulder hide. This is going to be where the helant's going to be directly above it. And this is going to be the cold hide. It's a little smaller. Then I have this reptile hand that they can climb on. If I'm going to put this above the heat lamp because they can get on this. It's going to be a little higher and they can get closer to the heat lamp. Also, this humid and humidity gauge. The humidity should probably be about 30 to 40%, and the heat should probably be about 90 to 100 degrees in the air on the hot side, and about 120 degrees on whatever is going to be hot. It's probably going to be 120 degrees on this. And way over there where it's going to be cold should be about, let's just say about in the low 80s. And that's how it should be. And this will keep track of that. Or you could just use this thermometer gun. You can shoot it, and I'll tell you how warm it is. My table is 75 degrees for Fahrenheit. And I also have these leaves and sticks. And to keep track of the humidity, this thing will help. Maybe just squirt their cage like once or twice every 3 days. That would help with their humidity. Oh, and one more thing. When you give your bearded dragon a drink, make sure you give them a drink a little bit more than when they're adults, because baby bearded dragons will get dehydrated easily, and you can just squirt their mouth like that. Or you could just squirt objects and he will lick off it. Now he doesn't seem very thirsty. I just gave him a drink a while ago. And make sure that you're using filtered water only, or water from a creek or a pond, and not tap water. Tap water can sometimes carry like a deadly chemical that will hurt your animal. you don't need a water bowl either, because one, your crickets will jump in it and they can drown, and the lizards won't go in it and soak in it and drink out of it. So you don't need one of those, or you could just use a waterfall. And then you usually won't have to squirt their cage, and they'll just drink off it because it puts stuff wet. So if you have a waterfall, you don't have to use these. And now I'm gonna go ahead and set up his cage. And I'm gonna add this right here. Right here. He likes to sleep in there at night. I'm also gonna add this way over here. And I'm gonna add this whole hide next to it. And I'm gonna add the hammock, reptile hammock. I heard that a lot of lizards and reptiles love these. Let's see if this will work. Yep, that should work. I'm gonna put like a big branch so we can get on it. Or he'll just jump on it like that. Like that. And I'm gonna add all the rest of the big sticks, vines, and leaves way over here. Don't shatter all your leaves and plants all over the place because they won't have any open areas. And he likes to sleep under these sticks and stuff. And this is the top you're gonna want to use. A Zilla. Make sure you use like a metal top like this to hold your heat lamp. And don't use a plastic one because the heat lamp will melt it. And be careful, the heat lamps are hot. And this is the thing you're going to use for when you clean their cage. You should just scoop it, shake it a little bit to get all the bedding off, and there should be little drops of poop left. And this is what I put my bearded dragon in when I clean his cage. You can put it like that, or you can put it like this. I don't hold it like this because one time I did that once and I spilled bedding and stuff all over the place. I hold it like this. And about heating, use about 100-watt bulb at this time, like in the winter or fall. But if you live in like California and it's in the middle of the summer, you probably use a 75-watt bulb to an 80-watt bulb. And make sure you use UV rays. UV rays aren't the cheapest. They're probably going to be at least $20. And you have to use those for your lizards or they will get ill. But you don't have to use them for your snake or turtles and tortoises. But you have to use it for a lizard. And I use this to put the heat lamps on if they, so they don't touch your table and melt the table. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the top on there. Like this. Make sure your top fits. This is called the UV ray. And you gotta make sure, like, remember which one is the V and which one is the UV. Turn on this one. That other one isn't as nice as the other. Now that's all your heating and stuff that you're gonna need. And the next thing is to remember is their feeding. Now when you feed your juveniles, you can feed them like once or like one or two of these superworms, like once or twice every couple of weeks. They can bite too, though. It stings a little bit. But the small mealworms that you would feed them would probably go to just 5 every 2 days or every 3 days. And it depends on the size. And when you, the vegetables that you're going to feed your Beardie is the kale or lettuce and stuff, or shredded carrot, or you could just use little thingies of apple, and I use like a small plate to add it on there. And pour this on their food like once or twice a week. And the other food that you probably feed them a lot is the large crickets, and I breed my crickets, so I have like this 5-gallon Zilla terrarium, and I also have a lock on there. And the care for these, they really like that like supply in there that they can climb on. And I also use plates to put their food in. Like this would be a drink to them. This would be like a food to them, and put lettuce in there and shredded carrots, and then like once a week, just to give them another thing to eat. It's really healthy for them. And I use this bedding for them also. And you don't need the heat lamps for those either. And these tops aren't the best. And you probably feed them 20 to 30 crickets, like once or every 2 days. And you probably feed them and just 20 or 15 crickets for adults once or every 5 days. But the adults will eat more plants and stuff than meat, and the little ones will eat more crickets and bugs than the stuff right here. And oh, I forgot to add this in there. I'll add that later. Well, I think that's about it. Thanks for watching this video.